I honestly cannot remember how good of friends we were before this all started. We were both 1Ls at Georgia State.
We quickly learned that we had very similar interests.
The American Bar Journal had run an article on Barry Scheck's book, Actual Innocence. I remember reading that first article and imagining what it must be like to sit in a prison cell and knowing that you're not guilty. It took my breath away.
Jill and I became fixated on the idea that we definitely needed this in Georgia. We didn't think it was going to be a big deal. We really didn't.
Wouldn't this be cool? You know, we can just start an Innocence project at Georgia State and then we can be interns. And you know, I've laughed about that ever since because we had no idea kind of going into it what it would take to get it started. Almost immediately, a lot of obstacles. You know, we were hearing a lot of negativity. It's definitely a non-starter at Georgia State. It's a non-starter at Emory. It's a non-starter at UGA. And at that point we were like, okay, well, we're not going to be able to pursue the traditional model of having a clinic at a law school because nobody wanted it.
We had more than one adult tell us, okay, that'll never happen here. I mean, literally the pat on the head of, that's cute, which for me was irritating. For Jill, it was like a siren call. And every time someone said that, we were just more determined.
At the time, I was the president of the Georgia Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. There were so few innocence organizations in the U.S., in different states.
We spun it and we sold it.
It was an exciting idea, of course.
At that point, we sort of pounced and we were like, hey, and that was Amy Maxwell, our first executive director.
It was a lot of work, and it was pretty much my full-time job and my full-time life. I tell people it's my vocation and my avocation.
I mean, this is at a time where we had one executive director and I'm handwriting payroll, and you know, the Innocence Project existed in a file box in the back of my car.
After a lot of brainstorming, we hit on the idea of having a founding member program.
We literally walked around with a basket on the beach at St. Simon's at the Georgia Association of Criminal Defense Lawyer meeting. All the older lawyers were having drinks and sharing war stories, and here we come around. Hi, you know, we gave a brief presentation at the seminar. We're looking for people that want to be founding members. Can you give us $1,000? They literally opened their checkbooks, wrote us checks, put them in the basket for us.
We needed the big win in the beginning because we needed the funding to keep the project going. Then came Clarence Harrison.
It was absolutely the best day of my professional career.
I just couldn't believe that it was happening like that. It was amazing. It really was.
It was just one of those things where, you know, you just realize you're that ripple on the pond, you know, and that's what we were. I mean, you know, for September and for me, just to be that ripple on the pond.
It's beyond my wildest dreams, and I'm very happy to have been a small part of it.
For us to have this legacy still going 20 years later is hard to believe, you know, so I'm just grateful.